Dust off those restless dreams just one more time. out!
Shout out!
Thank you so much, friends, for joining us for another Sugar Lime Blue Sunday shout out. This is Dave. I'm Ashley of Sugar Lime Blue, and this Sunday shout out is a retro Sunday shout out from way back. This is like the 4th shout out we ever did. It's going back out to Peter White. Peter, we hope you re-enjoyed your shout out. It has been a long time coming.
You got re-ups.
Yeah. Everybody, please like, share, comment, subscribe, ring that bell so you never miss a shout out. We'll see you next week with another one.
Shout out!
Both hands. I did that. Tell us what you're playing today, Dave.
You're such a cheese monkey.
No, like, this is one of my favorite electric guitars that Dave has. It's Les Paul. And it's like this beautiful honey color. It's like golden.
It's supposed to be
like honey.
Like a faded lemon burst, I guess. So you can kind of see
lemon. Looks a little orangey for lemon.
Yeah, it does look a little orangey for lemon to me. But you can see well, that's why it's a faded. So the faded is like a typically oranging or yellowing process, I guess. I don't know.
I think it has such a nice tone, like really warm and round sounding, and I think it looks good on you. Looks like we need a little pick guard happening there, though.
Yeah, wearing off the finish.
Giving it character. Look, your cord even matches it. It's nice.
Les Paul standard. Standard of many. A lot of guys play these things. A lot of my heroes back in the day. Got a little buckle rash on this one. This one's been played out a lot.
Is that a term?
I dig it.
Buckle rash?
Yeah, buckle rash. Anybody can see that.
Clever.
I don't know if you can see it. But, yeah, buckle rash. Lemon drop or lemon burst. One of the two. Les Paul standard. It's fun. I think
beautiful. I like it.
I love playing Les Paul with playing the Grateful Dead because... I don't know, I just do. It's a different sound than they had. Of course, Jerry favored a lot of clean tones, and he had a very... he's notorious for turning his bass all the way off on his amps. Played through a Fender amp, and he would turn his bass almost all the way off. So he had a very cutting, clean tone. And I think it's really fun for me to play Grateful Dead stuff and hear it with like a warm female singer that can hit all the notes. Not knocking Jerry, but at all, because I love those guys. And then also like a different instrument that typically wouldn't be on it. I always liked hearing Warren Haynes do the Grateful Dead because of that.
I love listening to Warren. Warren can sing the phone book like Joan Osborne to me, right? And I'd be a happy camper.
But yeah, I mean, I love the Grateful Dead. Everybody knows that we love the Grateful Dead because we play a lot of them, and we're coming right up on the
Dead Covers Project.
Again,
we got to pick one.
We got to pick one. Maybe this was it. I don't think so. I think we have to pick one for it. They'll probably have rules.
Well, last year was the first year they kind of had parameters we needed to work within. It had been sort of open-ended, any Dead.
Yeah, it had been, and then last year they were like, "Oh, it's got to be
only Europe '72."
We prefer something off Europe '72 this year, so that was cool.
I mean, it's fun to have rules to kind of work with.
We did a new one. Nice. Like I think this year, like there's some that I wouldn't mind redoing or doing differently that we've done in the past over the years.
It's always fun to rework a song.
It is.
I think it's like breathing new life into it. Even our stuff, I enjoy changing it up from the record to the live show. I think it's a lot of fun.
We've had a few that they selected to share on their website and on their Facebook page, and it's gotten us lots of views and on some of those Dead Covers projects. What was your favorite song we did by the Dead?
Oh, that's a hard ask. We've done a lot. I enjoy... Okay, so when we do a song, sometimes it's what feels good to sing, and sometimes it's what is fun to play as a band, like what has really good energy, and sometimes it's what people's reaction to the song is. So, like, each one would have a different answer. So, I think one of my favorites for somebody else's reaction to the song is when we did Morning Dew.
Yes.
I really loved Russ's reaction to the song because while he was playing it, we had, I don't know if you remember, we'll tell the back story. We had practiced it, and when we all came together, we had practiced separately. So Dave and I, and then Russ, and everybody had practiced at home.
And then our friends.
When we got together to do it, he hadn't heard out the way that we were doing it. So we all were practicing together. And he said, "Oh, wow. I don't know if I can get through playing this song without crying the way that you're singing it." And that's kind of what you want to convey with a song. You want that emotive response. Like, you're putting, I know vocally, I know you're doing it with the guitar too, you're putting an emotion out there, and you hope that your audience is picking it up and taking it with them.
For sure.
So to have somebody within the band give that kind of reaction was a super high compliment.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I think there's two types of songs. There's the, well, as a musician, there's two types of songs.
I was going to say just two.
There's the songs that are fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the songs that are fun to play because the way the audience reacts.
Right.
And then, of course, there's the songs that aren't fun to play, but we don't play those. So, really.
Yeah, why? Why?
Because why? Like, I think you should be honest as musicians.
We do our best,
I think we try to do our best to play stuff we believe in, you know.
What do you think is, like, for you, for Stella Blues specifically? What kind of emotion does that pull from you? How do you feel with it?
This was my first favorite Jerry ballad, I think. And I love the way the music moves. I love the way that it goes from like a major to a major seventh. It has that descending note within the chord.
Yeah.
And then it gives you the feeling of loss. Like the chord progression gives you the feeling of loss and despair. It's really well written song because I think it conveys the emotion very well through the music and through the lyrics.
Name that emotion.
Like, I feel like loneliness is like the major theme.
I mean, that lyric is literally
like loneliness and despair and sadness, but then at the same time, like, then the bridge comes in and it's like it goes all major key and it makes it feel like hope, because it's like, dust off those strings one more time, we're gonna make it shine. And it's kind of like, yeah, you know, we've been through some shit, but like we're gonna like pull through this and we're gonna make something beautiful, you know. So it's like,
that's nice. Yeah,
it's like the somebody once told me that you couldn't be a true musician until you experience loss. And like, it's not, I used to think it was because of the sadness, like you had to be in touch with the sadness, but I think it's more than that. It's deeper. It's like the beauty of the sadness.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a hard concept.
That's great. Yeah,
it's a really hard concept, and it's like you don't really know until you, like, when I was really young, I hadn't experienced loss very much at all.
Well, you couldn't know.
I mean, I could have. Like, you know, some people experience loss at a very young age, and I did not, know, and, you know, and you have sadness because things make you sad, you know, but you've never had anything lost maybe that you recognize the beauty in, and all the beautiful moments that you shared with that person or that thing or whatever you lost, you know. So it's really, I think, you know, I think the song really conveys that really well.
So the song for me, like, envisioning when I'm reading lyrics or learning a song or writing a song, I'm running a movie in my head. Like, I see a movie in my head to help me tell the story of the song, because I feel like as a vocalist, my burden of, like, my responsibility is to convey the story, is to give the emotion and convey the story. So I'm running the movie so that I can give everybody else the movie I'm watching. So this one, if I had to name the emotion for me that I was hoping to convey, is future nostalgia.
Right.
If that can be, if that's an emotion. But it's, for me, I saw this old busker who is out on the street with the beat up guitar that has, like, the belt rash and all the banged upness of life in the guitar and on the person, and that person looking back over their life and
seeing good times and hard times,
the whole thing, looking over, and it's almost like it is just a dream. Is it just a dream? And when you are a musician and you're putting something out into the world and you're hoping that people are picking it up and carrying it around with them, sometimes you never know if they do or not. You don't get to see what your audience is taking with them. And we were talking about Van Gogh the other day. This is an artist who in their lifetime did not make a living with their art.
Right.
But they're very revered now. So I know that there's musicians with the same
Yeah, I mean, it's a constant struggle, I think, for any artist to balance the weight of creating a pure art that you feel from your soul, but also trying to beat back the need for financial and like public validation.
That affirmation, yeah.
You know, so it's like the art is there and it needs to come out one way or another, but oftentimes we want to say, oh, we're not doing good, or we're not doing the right thing, or we need to shut this down because we don't see the validation, maybe financially or through public reception.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and
it's walking a tightrope.
It's amazing to think back about how some of the greatest artists never experienced any type of validation. Yeah. It's like not like they had the World Wide Web.
It makes me
people
sad.
Were like looking, going, "Hey,
yeah,
dude, like I really appreciate this." You know.
Well, that's one of the reasons.
Just never knew.
That's one of the reasons I adore this platform on YouTube and on Facebook, because just a little like 3 or 4 word comment or an emoji or just hitting a like button, there is something in the brain that goes off that goes, okay, I can do this again. We can do this again.
Sure.
We can do this again. And then there are people who have recently come into our lives who are financially validating what we're putting out there on a weekly thing, which this is a new experience for us, but it's extremely validating to have that kind of backing. It's an inspirational in a way. Like, I don't want that.
Well, I think a lot of it is too, is it's not just like online, it's like even in person. It's like, I mean, like throughout the time we've had people that are always like, you know, throw $100 in the tip jar here, $100 in the tip jar there, and then it's like now that we're doing like a regular Sunday brunch, and we're doing like, you know, we have got to the point where we've built a pretty, you know, sizable audience online for us. You know, I mean, it's like 550, 300 or 5,000 plus. You know, and it's like people are tuning in, and it's definitely easier to want to pick up the guitar next week, learn a new song, go through all the work, the hours, and the, you know, preparation and time to put it out there and all this stuff. And even though, you know, it's not like we're making a living off of the Sunday shout out, it's still something.
You know what? Like, there's a different sort of living, though. Like you said, there are different types of songs. Living. Yeah, there's a different sort of living.
It's an artistic, like, it's a symbiotic
life.
Circle.
Yeah, it breathes new life into, like, one of my favorite things to do is, especially on Sunday, is to go and read the comments that people are leaving on the shout out.
Drink a cup of coffee.
It is one of my, like, I so look forward to it, and it's so affirming, and I'm so grateful for our community that's out there that is putting such affirming words. Right. Like, they're sowing seeds into my artistic soul.
It's, like, I don't know, like, I want to listen to the shout out on Sundays because I know other people are.
Yeah.
And I know they listen to them much later. Like, we have people listening to shout outs from years ago and getting caught up and listening to them over and over. But there's something about, like, Sunday morning. It's like almost like a vibe or a feeling, or like a feeling of community, where it's like something about sitting down with a cup of coffee and watching our own shout out, you know. And it's like, it's not because I want to revisit it or listen to it per se. It's because I want to participate in what our community is participating in. And I'm like, there's other people doing the same thing because they've told us. Yeah. You know, so I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that we're invited into people's homes as much as we're inviting them into ours. It's so, I mean, name that emotion again. I'm really grateful.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the platform. I'm grateful for the community. I'm grateful for this art form.
Grateful Dead.
Yep.